That was supposed to come. That was supposed to be last, but we had to get that out. All right. So the college football championship weekend just passed. There's some great matchups. Actually, damn. Other than the typical Power Four conferences, I didn't really watch any of the other games from the small conferences. I was surprised Army beat Tulane. I saw that one.
Army played good all first half of the year. I mean, they were putting up points all year. Tulane's got a good program. They've been good for the last 3 years, like significantly good. So it's definitely a solid program. But Army did what they're supposed to do.
Now, Arizona State, they lost. They were out of their top receiver in a game against Iowa State and still smashed them. That impressed me the most. Well, not the most, but that impressed me big time. Arizona State hammering Iowa State the way they did.
That was crazy. I think Colorado, the way they played and came out, made statements. Clemson actually stepping up and winning the ACC against.
Yeah. I think they were the underdog. They were the underdog going into that game.
Yeah, they were, man. They played up. I mean, I think having that bad taste in their mouth, losing to their in-state rival, which was a great game, South Carolina. I think they gave them like some motivation to get back into the playoffs. So they took their shot and got in.
All right, then we had that was a good game. SMU came storming back, tried to get them back, but they got the ball. At the end of the game, Clemson had a good return, got the ball in field goal range and kicked it. Like I was literally watching this game. I saw SMU score. I'm like, dang, okay. Let me go to the kitchen real quick. I came back. They kicked the field goal, and that's game. I'm thinking, what? I didn't even see the return. I didn't even see it. I just knew it was going to overtime. Let's go overtime. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care. Actually, I wanted Clemson to win this game so Alabama could get the boot.
I think we all are happy about Alabama not being in the playoffs. I think
right. Oh yeah. And then we had, of course, them dogs, baby. Yes, sir. Horns. Oh, how they do it? Horns. Down. Yes, sir. With the backup quarterback in, bro. He came. So we know the guy's solid. We're familiar. Fans of Georgia are familiar with his talent. We know he's more so the mobile quarterback. However, the way he came in and executed when he needed to in the championship game. I mean, Stockton hadn't gotten any real tick all year. Yeah. Because of the games that Georgia's been BSing in. But, man, that was impressive. And then I don't know what's more impressive, him coming in, stepping up, leading the drives to score, or Carson Beck with one arm handing the ball when he went out the game. Yeah, bro, that was a good one. And my take on this, I was never high on Quinn Ewers. He's a good prospect. He's a good quarterback. Actually, he's a good quarterback. Not sure if he's a great prospect.
I mean, you're saying Ewers, when you compare Ewers to Beck, then they're about the same dude.
Yeah. They're like the same dude.
Like they're both good quarterbacks in great programs that have had good success, but haven't been able to win like major games when they needed to on both sides. So it's like a chance to really see what Beck was going to do, but he ended up getting hurt in a big game. So, I mean, somebody took over that, and then it's kind of different for Ewers because I feel like he still has Arch just looking over his shoulder like every week, man. That's a lot of pressure to have on a young man who is in the Heisman conversation. To have somebody who's like a future top 5 pick in the draft, like looking over your shoulder every week. So
right.
That's a little tough for my man. So,
but I mean, Sarkisian, they got to know something. Not something we don't, but they have to realize that Ewers is the best pick, and that's why they keep playing him.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just like, hey, we're gonna honor this guy. He's been playing with us for a while. Actually, nah, bro. They got pressure to win a championship in the oil state.
It's hard, man, because you look at it like this: is like if your team, what does your team feel like if they move Arch into the starting quarterback? Was that going to disrupt the chemistry on the team? Because Ewer's been in long enough; he's got players that rock with him. So making a change like that could have really thrown their season off. So I think he did right by letting Ewers play out the season as their starting quarterback, and then getting Arch in there to properly take over the team, because I think something like that could have really disrupted that team. And I think he did the best he could do, having two potential top 10 quarterbacks on your team. So.
Yeah, you can't do that unless you Nick Saban. Like, for real. Like, you cannot do that unless you Nick Saban with the Tua and Jalen Hurts switch, dude.
Even that, man, that was hard on Jalen Hurts because he left. He transferred right after that. So
yeah,
I mean,
no, he played the next year at Bama.
And then he transferred.
That's
even worse.
That's crazy. But he did have some. But I think Tua got hurt, and that's what happened. Tua got hurt, and he won. Jalen won the championship, the SEC championship game. Yeah. He came in after Tua got hurt and played that game. So I mean, he had his big moment after he got benched. But that's tough, bro. The same thing happened with the SMU quarterback. I was surprised about that.
But yeah, that Texas having two great quarterbacks, then Beck, who coming into the season was a Heisman hopeful, and then he had all the turnovers during like a 3-game stretch. I mean, but other than those 3 games, he had a decent year. It'll be interesting to see how healthy he's going to be once the playoffs start.
So what we're looking at here, looking at the rankings. Shout out Oregon. I got on my Duck colors right now. Root for the Ducks unless they play the Dogs in the championship game. And that's the only way they can match up. But Oregon, man,
you got the best uniforms and sneakers.
Yeah, their offense is smooth. Dylan Gabriel, after this season, he's better than I thought he was. And that's why I chose them to win the Big Ten over Ohio State. Simply because of the quarterback play. I knew he was better than Will Howard for sure. So the rankings, what's your opinions and thoughts on them? I mean, the biggest controversy was SMU getting in place of Alabama in the rankings.
I think it's fair. I don't know. I think it's fair. I think that's what it needs to be. It's the first year. If you had something to say, you should have won out your games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the teams that are complaining are teams that falter down the stretch. That they should have won big time games. So I mean, you can't complain about it because none of these rankings are ever going to be perfect. Like going back to the BCS, everybody complaining about the BCS. Then
this is much better than the BCS.
This is better than what we had before, right? So you give it some time, it's evolving. But if your team couldn't get into the top 8 and you think you're a big time program, that's on you. That's on your team.
Man, I love it. I'm rocking with what you're saying. Because with the 4
open. Go ahead.
Yeah, so many spots open. Yeah, with the 4, I was like, all right, because who was it? Like Florida State, I get leaving them out, but they got screwed. They deserve every bit to make the college football playoffs. And even if they didn't stand a chance, they deserve every bit of being in that 4th spot and playing. Now, that won't happen. If you're undefeated, that clearly won't happen. But now it's 12 teams, man. If you're talking about the bubble on 11 and 12 and 13 and 14,
you should have done better to get in those spots.
And they're talking strength of schedule. It's like, all right, you beat the big dogs, but you lost to Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. I mean, those are Oklahoma, definitely a respected program. Vanderbilt, not really respected in the SEC. Granted, they had some big wins this year. They were balling. They've gotten a lot better, but you can't lose 2 unranked games.
Right.
And
then think that you're the name on your jersey is a stronger name. Yeah, but you gotta do the work, and the teams that made it deserved it. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to take anything away from anybody that made the playoffs this year. Just not.
Yeah. And the committee, and I actually like the automatic championship bid for the top seeded champions. I mean, you think about it, it's like nobody ever complains about it in the NFL that way, you know. Like I always bring up that year the Panthers went 7-8-1 and made it to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure there was like a 9-7 team on the outskirts that didn't make it to the playoffs because of their record. But if you win, if you dominate and win in your territory, then I think you deserve a berth, because those are teams that you're playing them every year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and it's the rules, man. Like, you know, it's not like they change the rules in the middle of the season, right? So you know your mission, you know what you have to do to make it, you know what your goals are. So just set forth, like, handle your business, and you don't have anything to worry about. Georgia needed to handle business to get in. If Georgia would have lost the game, they wouldn't have been in, right? So they handled business, and then they got in. So that's all of those teams, they handle their business. That's what
or more specifically, the Georgia Tech. You got double, triple, quadruple, quintuple. What's 8? Octuple, or whatever. Overtime game. Like against Georgia. Yeah. Like, we would have lost that. That would have been 3 losses. We would have been bounced, bro. Like, come on, we had to win that game.
Yeah, they handled business down the stretch. So they handled their business down the stretch. Oregon's undefeated. Ohio State handled their business to make it. Boise State handled their business when they needed to in their big games.
Penn State handled and even played great against Oregon. Oregon is just a better team. And Arizona State emphatically said that they should be representing their conference. So, I mean, it is what it is. If your team didn't make it this year, like, teams don't win every year. Like, I'm gonna get on my Giannis right here. So teams don't win every year. So if you didn't win this year, just go back, win your bowl game that you're gonna get in, make that money for your school, work on your program, and go back to basics next year and get back next year. Is what it is. Right. Now, looking at the rankings, what do you think about? Let's see. Yeah. What do you think about Notre Dame being at number 7? I mean, should we even nitpick? I feel like we can't even really nitpick the numbers in the first year. You know, look at the strength of schedule for Notre Dame, and their loss was an unranked loss. Let's see who they're ahead of. They're ahead of Ohio State. Ohio State lost twice. They lost to unranked Michigan. Tennessee, forgetting who Tennessee lost to. Did they lose to Vandy too?
I think so. Oh, they lost. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's not really anything you can nitpick with on those rankings, like, right there, you know.
And another thing I heard folks talking about are the way the seeding and the format for the seeding or whatever, and how the matchups are. And I'm in my head, I'm like, bro, if the goal is to win the national championship, you just got to beat who's in front of you, especially in the playoffs with the path. Like, you look at Georgia, or let's see here. Let's look at Georgia. Georgia, they either get Indiana or Notre Dame. Okay. Georgia's going to be the favorites in both of those. But you look at Oregon, they get Tennessee or Ohio State. It's like, damn, they get that, and they're the number 1 seed. I get it, but bro, we talking about the ship, bro. You just got to beat who's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, You just got to be who's in front of you.
Might as well get them out the way while you can.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you look at it like that, if you win the bigger game, then you already know what your team is going to be battle tested.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Oregon shouldn't be afraid of Ohio. Oregon shouldn't be afraid of these teams.
No,
like,
they shouldn't.
If you're the real number one team in college football, you want a tough division, hard fought division, like. You know that you're the number one team. You should not fear anybody. You should just go out there and play ball. You can't do anything about the schedule. You can just play who you got and go out there and win the game.
Yes, sir. Then we got I actually love this, bro. People complaining. I love that Boise is number 3. Mm-hmm. And I love that Arizona State is the 4th seed right now. That's great. That's great.
But then Boise State might ball out because we don't know. We just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're looking at the action on the field, and they have a good offense. They have one of the best. They have the best running back in the country right now. So, and their defense is solid. They're a good team. They beat the teams that they were supposed to beat this year to be the number 3 seed. So,
but their only loss was the Oregon, and they pushed Oregon to the limit too in that game. I remember that. Yeah. And folks were like, "Oh, Oregon's not the real deal. I'm a loss to Boise State." Now you look at Boise.
They have a history of being a good team. They have a good program. If you want to complain about everything, man, like you can either have this or go back to having 4 teams. So let's take this and enjoy it for what it is.
All right.
Extra football we're going to get.
And win your games that you're supposed to win.
Yes.
All right. Bill Belichick to college football, man. What's your take on this?
Being the Tar Heel fan that I am, that brings me great joy. I hope he can lock it up. I think it's a good fit for him, man. I think that people put a lot of emphasis on him breaking Don Shula's record. But it's like, man, he broke the championship record. I think that's way more important than anything that you can do as far as victories. So if Belichick goes to Carolina and rebuilds that program, and he can enjoy his life down in Tobacco Road, and where he will be beloved. There will be no questions. You ain't gonna have to answer any questions about Brady. Was it Brady or you? Nah, dog. It's all him. So I think it's exciting. I think it's definitely exciting. I mean, it's Carolina greatness. You add Bellichick, Dean Smith, Bellichick, Roy Williams. Man, it's a beautiful thing, man.
This is it's exciting, bro. I hope he comes to North Carolina. Dude, if he does, we booking our tickets.
Yeah. My sister's an alum, bro. We can go to alum games, bro.
Bro, I'm there.
Yeah, we would definitely check it out.
Like, you talking about recruiting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's about money now, but this will definitely help with recruiting for guys that want to win. And then, like I said, I respect all the college football conferences. However, the ACC is maybe it's a level below the SEC and the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying?
They need some juice.
Or in that case, they need some juice.
I think
they're not too far off, honestly. But Belichick,
it's definitely number 3 tier. But I mean, Mac Brown was a good coach, and I don't ever want to. I'm not going to diss Mac. Mac did a really good job. I think he was just too loyal to his defensive coordinator because Mac was putting up points. But if you have somebody like Bill who knows the game, he's going to put solid people around him. You're going to have young guys want to come play for him. It's going to almost be like that Deion Sanders effect, man. You think about the people that he can bring in to do camps and talk with the players in the summer. You know, it's going to be that same Deion effect that's up on in a different way. Not celebrity, not the flash, but like old school football celebrity style with Bill. And shout out to Bill, man. Bill been different since he got his new girlfriend. So shout out to Bill. So he's going back to college, man. She got him wanting to go back to school, bro.
Oh shit! He like, hey, I got my hoodie ready.
Oh man,
But
those Carolina hoodies gonna be dope, man. That's what we need to have them out there so we can get some new Carolina gear. Bellichick and Jordan gear. Yeah, it'll be fire.
Hold on, did he? Hold on. Oh snap! He in there?
Oh, they announced it?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Nah, he in there. Ollie Canol, whatever the hell his name is. Bellichick has he tweeted. Bellichick has agreed to become the next UNC coach. Bellichick handed the school a 400-page organizational Bible with structure, payment plans, staffing choices, etc., decisions on whether to commit to the UNC. He is expected to know their decision within 24 hours.
We'll do an update.
I think. Hold on.
That's if they accept it. He agrees to coach if he accepts the organizational Bible. Yeah, they better accept that, bro.
Brother better take that.
I mean, brother, I think, hey.
Bro, all right.
Yeah, he better take that. Yeah, we'll follow up. So the team better take that. The team better accept that. Get Bellichick in the building. And there's a lot of money in Carolina. People forget that there's a lot of money at UNC. There's a lot of money. So the boosters. I mean, you think about that. You think about all the people, the politicians, everybody that comes from the state, athletes, the doctors. Like there's money. There's money if they put it in the right place. So yeah. Hopefully, Coach Bellichick will be down here.
That'll be something. All right.